Hiral stared down at the 2 new runes on the palms of his hands. Well, technically, the 2 halves of the new rune, singular, the rune of exchange. It had been one hell of a gamble putting off the inspiration for it and then accepting it when he did, but it had paid off. Thanks to the rune, he'd somehow managed to save Sina from the unnamed, and save himself from Ciela murdering him later if he had failed. With the 2 women in his thoughts, he looked to where they sat at a nearby table with Nivian and Wool. The 2 parties had just returned from their visit to the raid zone entrance, and now had over 100 hours until they needed to get back. Dran had already left, both the Hanging Gardens where Hiral sat now and the party, to recruit additional people for the zone. Needing E through A rankers meant a lot of people suddenly needed asylum access as soon as possible. That left a hole in their party, which was why there were 2 others sitting at the table with his friends. A pair of bonders. Coincidentally, the same 2 bonders Nivian's party had rescued. While Hiral and the others had raced through the maze-like siege of the Hanging Gardens and dealt with the beast wave assaulting the bonders' fortified wall, Nivian's party fought through their own wild dungeon, the assault on Ascender's Tower. Apparently, the Ascender's Tower was where the bonder dungeons lay. Each floor housed a different rank dungeon, with the bottom floor being E rank, while the top was S rank. And it hadn't just been one party Nivian and the others saved. It had been 10. 3 parties were each running the E, D and C rank dungeons, and then there was the single B rank group there as well. It was that group that had been primarily responsible for protecting the other, weaker groups when the Chimeras had arrived. It was also that group who had suffered the worst losses, with 3 of the 6 falling while Nivian's party rushed to their aid. A 4th died even after the undead made their appearance, but they'd at least managed to save all the weaker parties. Hiral had asked a bit about it, and unlike the numerous weaker enemies he'd battled with his party, the enemies arrayed against Nivian's party had been much smaller in number, but higher in strength. Luckily, there hadn't been any unnamed there.